I'd like to start the ceremony with a simple question. Why are we here? I don't mean this in the cosmic existential way, although I'm happy to indulge anyone who wants to answer that question with me at the bar later. I mean, why are we here today at this beautiful place, celebrating these two beautiful people? One might offer a simple answer. Well, we're here because Alison and Will are getting married, silly. But let's take that question a little bit deeper. We wouldn't be here if Will and Alison had never met. And they did go to high school together, but as fate would have it, their paths would not cross them, although Alison assures me that she had her eye on Will the whole time. The journeys would be separate. Will would go to the University of Washington to study engineering, and Alison to the warm climes of Southern California to go to Scripps and study environmental policy. But after Alison finished her studies, gravity pulled her back to Seattle, where she found a job working part-time at Counterbalance Bicycles, where Will happened to be a mechanic. And this is when things begin to combust, the universe's machinery begins to work, and the patterns begin to unfold. At this point in the story, I'm going to offer a concept I call the obviousness of Will and Alison. While they're at the bike shop, oftentimes after work, Will and his buddies would hang out, and it's arranged that Alison would come along this time. And I must stop and give a shout out to Matt Tomos, the real hero of this story, because he, seeing the obviousness of Will and Alison, arranges for everyone at the house to abruptly and conspicuously leave, leaving Will and Alison alone together for the first time. From there, they chat and decide to take a bike ride to Gasworks Park to drink a bottle of wine and eat chocolate, where they discuss their futures, their values, and perhaps the mysteries of the universe. After that fateful night, they were both enamored with each other, and their journey together began. At this point in the ceremony, I'm going to bring up our good friend GB to do a reading by the great Carl Sagan.
The size and age of the cosmos are beyond ordinary human understanding. Lost somewhere between immensity and eternity is our tiny planetary home. And yet our species is young and curious and brave and shows much promise. In the last few millennia, we have made the most astonishing and unexpected discoveries. They remind us that humans have evolved to wonder, that understanding is a joy, that knowledge is prerequisite to survival. Our little planet floats like a mote of dust in the morning sky. All that you see, all that we can see, exploded out of a star billions of years ago, and the particles slowly arrange themselves into living things, including all of us. We are made of star stuff. We are the mechanism by which the universe can comprehend itself. The world is so exquisite, with so much love and moral depth. We should remain grateful every day for the brief but magnificent opportunity that life provides. The sum of all our evolution, our thinking, and our accomplishments is love. A marriage makes two factional lives a whole. It gives to two questioning natures a renewed reason for living. It brings a new gladness to the sunshine, a new fragrance to the flowers, a new beauty to the earth, and a new mystery to life.
Thank you, Judy. Why are we here? We're here because Will and Alison's love was more than a fleeting summer romance, more than an ephemeral bike shop crush. We're here because since they began their journey together, they've committed to growing together, learning from one another, and in turn, learning about themselves. Another story I'd like to employ to answer that seemingly simple question is the story of their engagement. But before I do that, I'm going to back up a little bit and give some context. I first met Will and Alison on the advice of our now good mutual friends, Sam and Seth. I had just moved to San Francisco, didn't know that many people, and had bought them 3 tickets to go see one of my favorite bands. I needed 2 others to go with. As fate would have it, Sam suggested, well, how about Will and Alison? And so, they agreed, and we went along. And I'm not going to bore you with the minute details of this encounter, save 2 observations. First, I was incredulous at how 2 people and so many bikes could share such a small apartment and still get along together so well. And second, how much I really liked Will and Alison, and how much I nervously hoped they liked me back too. After a few nights out and a backpacking trip to Big Sur, the friendship was solidified, and I was blessed to be included in their journey. So, We wouldn't be here if Will hadn't taken the leap of asking Allison's hand in marriage. And I'd like to tell that story as well. Coming back to the concept of the obviousness of Will and Allison, I'm sure many of you have felt the same thing. In fact, there hasn't been anyone I've talked to who has said anything different. Now, long hikes with heavy packs can offer an almost infinite space for thought and conversation. Sometimes you're chatty, sometimes you're pragmatic. Will, we have too much whiskey. There's no way we'll finish it all. Me, well, we'll see about that. Beyond that, while you're hiking, you have a somewhat rare opportunity to focus on a subject or a thought, an idea, and really take it to the end. These meditations can take many forms, but the idea that caught my mind that day was the idea of Will and Allison. Now, I'd always known they were good together, but I'd never really dug into it. But I had a couple of hours to think, and I really zoned in on it. I thought about their personalities, their experiences together, how they laughed together, how they resolved conflicts, what things they like to do, the amazing friends they shared, the way Allison looks at Will and giggles and hugs him, and the way Will looks at Allison with deeply loving eyes. So, after many miles and a long, dusty, winding trail, I came to the conclusion that these two people were meant for each other, the obviousness of Will and Allison. So the trip goes on. It's a pretty magical weekend. We swim, eat chili and mac and cheese by the fire. We finish the whiskey. I was right. And we begin the hike back on Sunday. And on the way back, we stop for lunch, and me and Pete are kind of puttering around looking for a place to sit and eat. And we look around and we go, well, where are Will and Allison? Must be taking pictures or something. So, a few minutes later, they roll up, and Allison is literally bouncing down the trail, which, after 15 miles of hiking on the weekend, I can tell you is no small feat. And she comes up to us and she exclaims, "Guess who's getting married?" And maybe it's, I'm tired, a long hike, or the effects of the whiskey the previous night, but I go, oh, no. And then I look up, and I look into Will's eyes, and they're welling with tears, and it hits me. The goosebumps shoot up the back of my neck. Oh, you two. Will nods. Will and Allison. So we're going to invite Vanna up to do another reading from a children's book titled I Like You by Sandal Stoddard Warburg.
I'm going to see how much I can get through this without crying. You know how to be silly, that's why I like you. Boy, are you ever silly. I've never met anyone sillier than me till I met you. I like you because you know when it's time to stop being silly. Maybe the day after tomorrow, maybe never. Too late, it's 1:15 silly. Sometimes we don't say a word. We snirkle under fences, we spy secret places. Whew. If I'm a goofus on the Rufus, hollering my head off, you are one too. If I pretend I am drowning, you pretend you are saving me. If I'm getting ready to pop a paper bag, then you're getting ready to jump. Hooray! That's because you really like me. You really like me, don't you? And I really like you back. And you like me back. And I like you back. And that's the way we keep on going, every day.
Thank you, Vanna. So I spent a couple months trying to come up with an eloquent ending to this ceremony. And as hard as I tried to come up with an original thought on the nature of love and marriage and commitment, I decided to borrow words from someone else, far more eloquent than me, the author David Foster Wallace. He said in a commencement speech to Kenyon College in 2005, in a piece called This is Water, the really important kind of freedom involves attention and awareness and discipline and effort, and being able truly to care about other people, to sacrifice for them over and over in myriad petty, little unsexy ways every day. So now I'm going to let the bride and the groom speak in their own words and read their vows.
Alvin, I take you as you are, loving who you are now and who you will become. Promise to respect you as a partner and as an equal. Promise to always be open and honest with you. I promise to push you and to comfort you. Promise to give you back massages and foot squeezes whenever you'd like. Promise to radically participate in your life and in our marriage. I will support you, listen to you, and speak to you with encouragement. Let's strive to build a home that is compassionate to all, full of peace, happiness, and love. I will love you and have faith in your love for me through all our years and all life's adventures.
I take you as you are, loving who you are now and who you will grow to become. I promise to respect you as a partner and as an equal. I promise to always be open and honest with you. I promise to support your many hobbies. I promise you unlimited smooches and a lifetime supply of back scratches. I promise to radically participate in your life and our marriage. I will support you, listen to you, and speak to you with encouragement. Let's strive to build a home that is compassionate to all, full of peace, happiness, and love. I will love you and have faith in your love for me through all our years and all of life's adventures.
Will, do you take Allison as your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Allison, do you take Will as your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
By the powers vested in me by the great state of Washington, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Okay, everyone, the families are going to take some